at this physical puzzle. And then through that thing, they develop all this confidence. They become like much cooler people, much more interesting to hang out with. Like all my friends that are like black belts in jiu-jitsu, they're all interesting. They're all cool to talk to. Like if I can talk to a guy and they tell me they're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm like, oh, okay. You've gone through the whole thing. Like you've gone through some shit. Like, okay, I guarantee you and I can find common ground. Like we could talk.
Yeah.
It's like there's things that are out there that are available to you that are a vehicle for developing your human potential. That's what I was taught when I was a kid and I was learning Taekwondo. That's how they described it. I never forgot that. A vehicle for developing your human potential. And I was like, that's perfect. Because I think you don't just do it from thinking about stuff and thinking different. I think you need physical stuff that you do. And the best physical stuff is scary stuff.
Yeah, rite of passage.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have many rites of passage.
Yeah.
And doing any type of martial arts and having to compete is like, oh, this is scary.
Yeah.
It's building, it's building, it's building. What's going to happen? And you kind of have to face that fear of death in a way. It's like, you know you're not going to die, but in a way it feels like it when you're going to competition. It's like, this person is going to try to hurt me.
Yeah.
And to come through that and get to the other side, there's something that changes in your nervous system.
For sure, you've actually experienced something that very few people ever experience, and it's very different than a street fight because you're agreeing to it, and you're training for it. You've got this other person who's like training, and you know they're scary as shit, and they're on the other side of the cage, and then you step in, and the two of you are about to go to war. It's the nuttiest job in the history of the world. It really is. Other than war and being a firefighter or a cop, it is the nuttiest job in the history of the world. You're agreeing to throw bones at each other in front of the world, millions of people.
Yeah, people love it.
And today, they just announced the UFC just signed some crazy deal with Paramount Plus.
I saw that.
There's going to be no more pay-per-views. All the events are going to be available for everybody for free. Every pay-per-view, every fight card that they have from the Apex, which are my favorite.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be available for free. It's an amazing deal.
I think it's going to explode the sport even
Oh
more.
my God, through the roof. And it's a super smart move for Paramount.
Yeah.
What a great move to not just have the UFC for 7 years, but have it for free. Like, I don't think Paramount costs, but what? How much does it cost a month? $10. So if it's 10, let's say it's $10. That's crazy. That's $120 a year. You could watch every UFC pay-per-view. 2 UFC pay-per-views is like $140, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Aren't they
Yeah,
like
I think so,
$70?
$70. Yeah.
So you get all of them. Everything's free. That's incredible. This sport is going to go fucking hypernova.
Because the average person only knows about the stars, you know what I mean? But they're kind of detached because they're only watching highlights. Now they get to actually watch about the stars. They're going to be so much more bought into the sport.
Yeah. It's going to be nuts. And it's such a smart move for Paramount because you have a built-in audience that's immediately going to jump over there. Because you have to renew your ESPN subscription anyway. You know? Like, you have to renew it. So just buy a Paramount subscription.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, ESPN has everything, too. It's great. I'm kind of bummed out, and I hope they don't lose the relationship that they had with ESPN with all their MMA shows. I hope they don't go like, fuck them, they went to Paramount. I hope it's like a mutually beneficial thing, like the UFC at least does some content still on ESPN, because I think that's also a big factor in pulling people from like casual viewers that watch other sports that might occasionally watch a UFC fight, and then they see like Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway, and they're like, holy shit, and then they're hooked, right? It's like having that coverage on SportsCenter, that shit's huge. Having those post-fight shows on ESPN Plus, that shit is huge. For the real dorks like me, that's huge.
Yeah, I think even for like the average person that cares more about storytelling, you know? It's like maybe the wives are like, this is interesting to hear about the drama of their life a little bit and the hero's journey.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, it's unbelievably compelling when you watch 2 world-class fighters fight in a world championship fight.
Yeah.
Unbelievably compelling, you know? Like when you watch Sugar Sean O'Malley try to get the title back from Rob, that was so compelling.
Yeah.
Sugar Sean changes his whole life. Did you talk with him at all?
I haven't. I'm very curious. I would love to talk with him because I know he cut out weed, right? And he
cut out weed, stopped jerking off, I believe, and abandoned all social media.
Yeah.
Which is very fascinating. I might be wrong about the jerking off. I think I might have added that in there. But he recognized that this guy's a motherfucker. He's a completely different thing. Like, Merab is like a David Goggins in that respect, that he's so far down the path of pushing himself that it's almost like you're never going to catch him in that game. You know, like 6 months of not jerking off and staying off TikTok, I don't think that's even close to enough. I think what he's been doing has been really insane for a long time. Everybody that I talk to that's trained with that guy say he's fucking superhuman with his cardio. And his work ethic is through the roof, man. When DC went to see him the day after he won the title, he was out running. DC went to his house.
Sicko.
And he's filming. DC's filming his garage, his garage gym set up. And he's like, this motherfucker is out running. Yeah. He's out running the day after winning the world title in a spectacular 5-round performance where he shows superhuman cardio, like superhuman pressure. There's a few guys like that.
Yeah. It's fascinating to look at just that level, the elite level, and just see the commonalities between them. For me, as someone who loves studying the mind, and it's like, what is different about these guys? And then, is there anything you could do to catch up, or are they just built different? Are they just wired in a way?
Did you see the Anthony Hernandez Roman Dolidze fight this weekend?
No.
Bro, you got to see that fight. You have to see that fight. Anthony Hernandez is a fucking problem. He's a fucking real problem. He doesn't get tired, man. He pushes an insane pace and he doesn't get tired. He melts dudes. He just melts them. You know, he does stuff where you just go like, what? How are you pushing this kind of pace? It's like a middleweight version. Someone said it in the comments too. That Merab was in Roman's corner because they're both from Georgia. And he's like, and Merab is in the corner while Roman fights the middleweight version of Merab. Because it really was like that. Fluffy Hernandez is wild, dude. It's like whatever he's doing in his training, or whether he just has some people like Cain Velasquez had a natural cardio gift. I don't know what it is, but it's insane. He submitted Rodolfo Vieira, multiple-time world jiu-jitsu champ, just exhausted the fuck out of him and guillotined him, which is just nuts to watch that guy tap. Do you know who he is?
No, I know boxing way more than UFC. So
Vieira is built like a superhero. Like, he doesn't even look like a real human. He looks like a cartoonish, like CGI version of what an elite MMA athlete looks like, just chiseled. And Fluffy doesn't look like that. Covered in tattoos, you know, looks athletic, you know, looks tough. But Rodolfo Vieira that's him.
Oh yeah.
Bro. I mean, you know those photos of like what your girlfriend tells you not to worry about? Get that one where he's got his sleeves down and by his elbows in the lower, that one right there. Bro.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And I don't think Fluffy was even a black belt. I think Fluffy was a brown belt at the time. I want to be correct about that. He's a black belt now, right? Anthony Hernandez, MMA. I think he's a black belt. But to submit that guy was just one of the like if you had a bet in Vegas, you know, like if you were on DraftKings Sportsbook and you bet Fluffy Hernandez to submit Rodolfo Vieira, you probably get like 25-1 odds. Brown belt. He's still a brown belt. He's still a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. He submitted a multiple-time world champion just by melting him. Just melting him. I'd love for you to talk to that guy, find out what the fuck he's made out of.
I'd love to. Hit me up, bro.
He's different, man. There's certain dudes that are just different, you know, like what Goggins likes to call uncommon amongst uncommon men. That dude's uncommon. If I was a middleweight, I'd be like closely watching that guy, like, Jesus Christ. Because he's also like every fight he keeps getting better, and it's just a storm that starts from the first minute of the first round and never stops. You never get to break. There's no breaths. He's constantly on you. He takes a great shot. 52 takedowns, 8 fight win streak, 6 finishes. Bro, that guy. There's guys that just emerge from groups of like super talented contenders where you just go, holy shit. And that's one of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've been on the lookout for him. I gotta go back and watch the fight.
So for a guy like you that's like a mental coach, I always like wonder, like, I'd like you to like talk to that guy and maybe you can pass some of that on to everybody else. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
How is he just training harder than everybody else? Is it his mindset? Is he just a dog and just does not give a fuck? Because it seems like there's a lot of that there too.
Yeah.
He's just mentally super strong and super
successful and all the ones that are causing the problems.
Want to hear what's really crazy? Dude smokes a ton of weed. Ton of weed. Like Sugar Sean
What do you
O'Malley's
think
like, I'm
about
gonna quit the weed. This
So-
dude's like, give me all your weed.
When I was doing a lot of boxing, I was smoking a ton of weed. I was smoking weed every single day, and I don't anymore. But at the time, I was like, I had to get surgery on my nose because I had busted up so many times.
Yeah, I got that surgery.
Yeah.
Oh my God, isn't it nice when you get it done though? I fell down a flight of stairs when I was 5, so I've never had a good nose. My nose has been fucked since I was a little kid, so I never could breathe out of my nose. And then years of getting punched and kicked and getting headbutted and grappling classes.
I was going to the doctor because I was still sparring during COVID, and I was going to the doctor, and they were just telling me, "Oh, I think you have COVID." That's what they told me. They're like, "Oh, I think you just have stuffiness. We're gonna have you tested for COVID like 2 different times." And eventually, I just got X-rays. I'm like, "Oh, my nose is destroyed."
Yeah.
But
It happens like an ear, right? You know, like ears get cauliflower. You get that same kind of buildup of calcium deposits inside your nose.
Close it off.
They have to carve it out.
Yeah.
Ever see what it looks like when they get the chunks and they lay it out for you after they take it out?
They took a piece from my ear. They took the ear cartilage.
To rebuild your
The
nose?
funniest thing is, so I spent a lot of time in Colombia, and I went down there for the surgery, and
You went to Colombia for
Yes.
ear to nose surgery?
oh, I do everything, all my stuff in Colombia. I got LASIK eye surgery in Colombia.
Jesus, bro.
Yeah, they invented it in Bogota, Colombia.
Did they really?
They did.
No shit.
Yeah, and medical stuff's amazing there. Honestly, like, this is gonna sound funny, but when I go there, it almost makes the U.S. feel like a third world country.
That's crazy.
Just because it's so inexpensive, the doctors are good, the facility's great. Anyhow, so I go get the surgery. I come out of it, I'm missing the back of my ear. I didn't understand that part.
Why didn't they do the rib? Usually they do rib cartilage.
They
right?
said they might do the rib, but I don't
They
remember.
changed their mind and went with your ear?
I guess they
What's your ear look like now?
I'll show it to you.
Show me. Okay, you got a missing chunk, son. Whoa.
Yeah. Now it lays kind of flat.
Oh, that's
See that?
crazy. Not that bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
But you don't grapple, so you don't have cauliflower. That would get
No.
weird because there would be no structure, so it would like super droop like a Labrador.
What do you think? I haven't gotten into jiu-jitsu just because I was told by some of my friends that like I could re-break my nose just by the pressure of people like leaning on it all the time. And I just don't want to get the surgery again.
When I got my surgery, I was fully addicted to jiu-jitsu. So I waited 6 weeks and I started rolling again.
And how's your nose been?
It's fine. I protected it and I told everybody that I was rolling with him and I just got no surgery. So please don't like cross-face me if you're trying to get a rear naked choke or something like that. You know, like there's certain guys that are real mean and they get your back and they'll fucking do
Yeah,
this with
that's
your
what I don't
nose
want.
to
That's
get you to lift
terrible.
your chin up. They'll go forearm blade right into the nose, which I understand for competition, but for the gym, the problem is like you can really break a guy's nose and then fuck him up for the rest of his life until he gets it fixed.
What about now when you train? Like,
don't
is
do
it a concern?
I haven't been training in a long time. I haven't been training in over a year. No rolling at all in over a year. But it's not a concern. It works great. It's fine. If I got it broken and it was a problem, I'd definitely 100% get it fixed again. The benefits of being able to breathe out of your nose, and I've talked to a ton of fighters about this. Some of them are like, I'll wait till after I'm done fighting. But Dricus Duplessis, who's defending his title this weekend, Dricus, he started his career with a fucked up nose in the UFC, and it really affected his cardio. His mouth was wide open. He got it fixed, and it was like this immediate bump in performance. I mean, immediate. For sure, he was getting better along the way, and for sure, he was, figuring out how to tighten up his techniques, and he's just an animal, right? But on top of that, having that nose fixed was a significant difference. He didn't have to have his mouth open all the time.
That's the ideal way to breathe if you can just breathe through your nose, right?
It limits your cardio in a significant way. I noticed like a 10% bump in cardio is what it felt like to me. Like I could feel the difference in being able to breathe out of my nose. And also to be able to bite down on your mouthpiece, like if you're really clamping down on something and you could still breathe perfectly. That was huge. Because before,
It's like
you'd have to
dog dancing.
squeeze while your mouth is open. That's terrible. Like if you want to squeeze on something, you want to be like this. You want to feel like fucking, and you can't bite down. I wonder how they've done studies on that, right? Like people lifting stuff with like certain mouthpieces in, and certain mouthpieces actually increase their strength.
Powerlifters use them, right?
Yeah, I think they do it for sure also to not break your teeth. Because I went to a dentist once and the dentist was like, you have like microfractures on all your teeth. He's like, do you lift weights? And I go, yeah. He goes like, you're clenching your teeth all the time. Oh, yeah. So I stopped doing that so much, and I definitely started. I worked out with a mouthpiece for a long time, like lifting, but actually enhances your strength. There's like some sort of a connection between like having your jaw perfectly aligned and clamping down on this mouthpiece that allows you to actually lift more weight. Find out if that's true, because I know that was definitely a marketing claim for this mouthpiece thing, but I just don't remember much of it. But I remember like looking into it years ago. It was like a weird mouthpiece with like the bottom had like a hole cut into it so you could
I think I've heard something about that.
Yeah.
I know grunting is supposed to help you lift more weights.
That makes sense. That's why they keep it out of that LA fitness place. They get mad at you.
Yeah.
Is that Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness, yeah. I did see a
crazy
study
is
because
that?
I was looking at all these studies to increase strength performance. You know, when I was studying all this stuff, and I was like grunting.
That's so crazy that if you lift weights there too loud, they sound an alarm and they
Yeah.
kick you out.
Was it
Like
called
you tried too hard, the lunk alarm.
The lunk alarm.
That's funny.
It's safe for those people who want to be there. It's a nice, safe environment.
Yeah, I get it, but also, don't you want to be inspired by someone who's working out really hard? Like if I go to the gym and there's a guy there, they're like, whoa, that guy's there. And you watch that guy do some crazy routine, you're like, as long as he's nice. Like,
Yeah.
what do you care if he's grunting?
But that's kind of society, right? We got the padded walls in many places for people.
Yeah, I guess it intimidates people. It scares them, and then maybe people. What is this, Jamie?
Mouthpiece? The
A
airwaves?
mouthpiece.
But I don't-
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if it's proven.
Yeah, I don't know if it's proven either. But is this official mouthpiece of the world's strongest man? Boosting muscular force and power. Huh. It's patented. So how does it work? Does it say how it works? Thing is, if you believe it works. Designed to absorb clenching while guiding optimal tongue positioning during high stress exertion. But being able to breathe out your nose is trying kids. So if you don't have that, if you've got that problem, get it fixed.
What do you think about
If you can.
weed and fighting? Because I'm gonna ask you a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
When I was living in LA, I knew this neuroscientist, and we ran like a little fun study where I was a big stoner, so he had me stop smoking weed for 2 weeks, I think it was. He tested me, did all these brain tests with me, and then he tested me 2 weeks afterwards. And I play football and box, right? So a lot of hits to the head.
Right.
And he said that without weed, it showed that I had a fair amount of like brain damage, like my brain wasn't functioning the way it would. When I smoked weed, went back in there, he said there was some kind of like neuroprotective effect where like my brain was like registering as more healthy.
Well, isn't part of the problem with CTE and any kind of brain issue in general? Part of the problem is inflammation, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's one of the things that they say, like changing your gut bacteria has an effect on mood. You know, there are a lot of people that have like real gut
So
problems.
weed decreases inflammation in the brain.
Yeah, weed certainly decreases rather inflammation, and that's why people use it for pain management. People with sore backs and people going through chemotherapy. It also improves your appetite for people going through chemo because it's hard for them to eat. But weed most certainly can help with pain management, with some kinds of pain. I know some people that have tried it for like debilitating pain, and it just doesn't do a damn thing. It just makes them almost more aware of it. But it's variable, man. Because I was this Jamie, who's the guy who killed Bin Laden? You know that Navy SEAL guy who killed Bin Laden? He's on Instagram. Right. But let's say his full name out of respect. Well, how about look it up? And find his Instagram, because he has something to do with the cannabis business. And like this guy's just super badass, tip of the spear, special forces operator, right? And there it is, Robert O'Neill. Go to his, see if you can find his Instagram. What does it say? That's him. It says, set to peddle pot in New York City. It said it helps get rid of the noise. He's also an advocate for Ibogaine. He's done Ibogaine, I think
good friend who
multiple
just did that.
times. But go to his Instagram page, Jamie, if you could. I forget, it's like Mr. Hooyah or something like that. But he said that it helps him go to sleep at night, helps him relax and go to sleep at night. Like there's scroll down, go back to the grid and scroll down.
Well,
there's him in an actual pot farm, like his own pot farm in there. like where they grow all the stuff that he sells.
That makes sense because it has that disassociative effect, right?
Right.
And so it's easier maybe to get out of your head.
But it flies in the face of this very public narrative, which is pot is for lazy people, pot is for losers, pot's gonna rot your brain, pot's gonna make you stink, pot's gonna make you an idiot. Can't find it? I don't know where it is. Maybe that's the far right one with his hands outstretched like Jesus. That's the one I'm talking about. I looked at that. Mikuya on Instagram. When a guy like that is smoking weed, you gotta throw it out the window. All your preconceived, it's like everybody is biologically different, and for some people, alcohol just fucks them up. For some people, marijuana is a no-go. It's not good. They freak out. But
Also,
for some people,
when you're a dog, you know, like we're dogs, we like to get after, we like to work out, we like to do things. Like I almost like when I was smoking weed every day to be the guy who could be super fit, to be training boxing every day, and like to
still
be
smoke
achieving
weed.
my business, smoke weed every day. Like I kind of took this like weird pride in it for some time as well. Like,
bro, one of my favorite things to do was to smoke weed and hit the bag.
so meditative.
Yeah, man. But you also
Form goes out the window a little bit.
no,
for
it
me.
doesn't. For me, it's the
You know.
opposite. For me, I feel everything. Like for me, I feel
Maybe I'm just judging myself.
the timing more when I'm hitting things. Like it feels more coordinated. Like when I'm throwing a kick, it's just whoop. Like I feel the time to like accelerate, the time to get the hips into it. I'm more sensitive. It feels better. Like you tune into it. It makes my pool game 100% better.
Really?
Oh, 100%. It's like steroids for pool.
But I also hear you on the podcast. We've done it before. Like you stay dialed in to a degree. Like maybe you don't have
That's
the
right.
same recall.
That's right, but that's the point that I was making earlier. It's different for everybody. It's not like I am different than other people. There's people that don't think the way I think. They don't have life experiences that I have. They don't have the ability to manage like the weirdness that comes with weed, which the paranoia I like.
Yeah.
I genuinely like.
You kind of need. Do you like that
I
voice?
like
Just kind of question you a little bit. Like,
Yes.
don't get too big for your britches.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like it. I like being scared. I think it's good for you.
Yes.
As long as you use it wisely. Like you take that weirdness, like, oh, maybe I should go give him a call and explain myself better. Maybe I should reach out. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should like make it easier for these people. Maybe I should, it makes me like very considerate. And I think it's a really potent tool for managing your state of mind. But that's just for me. I don't know how your mind works. Would only be pretending, right? Like we're all on a different mind journey too, right?
Yes.
If you're a person who was beaten by their parents and you were fucking mugged and then this happened to you and that happened to you and you got fucked over at work and then here you are there, like that's very different than a person who's had a lot of like success and been real lucky and got to a point and has a healthy mindset.
Maybe it's more nostalgic. You kind of smoke what you're thinking about. It gives you time to separate a little bit from being in the grind versus.
Well, my point is, like, if you're all fucked up, maybe pot's not for you.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a real mess and you're, like, barely hanging on, like, to regular life, maybe freaking yourself out with potent THC is not the way to go.
Especially these days.
Yeah,
Strong.
what I'm getting at is, like, maybe as your journey progresses and you get healthy and you get more confident and strong and more successful, maybe then.
Yes.
But maybe not even then. Maybe that's not your thing. You have to be honest about what's your thing. You have to find, and the problem with things being illegal is you don't have that opportunity. And then you have people that had bad personal experiences with it, and they're like, pot makes you stink, pot makes you a dummy. Maybe it does that for you, okay, but it doesn't do that for me. For me, it makes me nicer to my friends. It makes me want to pet my dog. It makes me want to chill out. It's like, it makes me want to have fun with my friends. It makes me want to laugh. It doesn't make me stink. Well, it probably makes me stink. But it doesn't make me any dumber, that's for sure. And it makes me more inquisitive. It makes me more interested in, for sure, subjects that I have no understanding of that are fascinating, like cosmology. There's nothing like getting high and watching a space documentary, just to try to put it into perspective, what it is we're living in, what is the reality of the physical universe and its majesty that's above your head every day. Like that is when you're high, you're like, how am I not paying attention to this? This is really a crazy thing. That this is probably the most profound experience that a person could ever have in their life. Is like being on a planet going through space, and we completely take it for granted.
I think to a degree, it's good to have some kind of cadence where you have something that allows you to kind of step back for a second.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It could be some mushrooms.
Could be just meditative, like breathing exercises,
float tank, breath
yoga
work.
class. Yeah, doing something or running. I think that's a lot of the high of running. You know, when people like really exert themselves, like you're just thinking about your breath. You're just getting after it. 5-6 miles in,